A West Haven pastor got stuck with a $200 bill that he says was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, he says the towing company refused to listen to him, so he got in touch with News 8 through our Report It feature to get some answers. News 8's Aaron Logan live at News 8 Control with more on what happened during that Sunday service. Aaron?
Well, Darren and Sonia, we asked a lot of questions to get to the bottom of this. It turns out that a tenant living in an apartment complex on the same lot as the church says cars were blocking him in. So he called the towing company himself. And when the towing company arrived, they said they had permission to tow. We learned they did not.
I didn't even speak on Sunday. The assistant minister had to come and fill in for me.
That's because all of Reverend Harmon Yalardi's time was spent outside in the parking lot of Faith Revival Temple Church. A tenant who lives in this apartment complex on the same lot as the church was upset, saying his car was blocked in, so he called York Towing. The police report says the company claimed to have a contract with the property owner to tow cars interfering with resident parking.
I was here with with my hand on the car and told him not to carry, and he won't listen.
Instead, Reverend Yalardi got stuck with an almost $200 bill to get back his parishioners' cars. He says in the 6 years he's been here, he's never had any parking issues with the apartment.
There is no justification for towing parishioner vehicles from the church property. And then also for the apartment's owner to take some responsibility.
So we went to the management office for Lake Realty, and they were surprised to hear this story.
Wherever, there's a free space, that's where you park. Yeah, there's no assigned parking there at all. We don't have a contract with any towing company on that property.
So if somebody that lives there has an issue, what do? Call you and you figure it out?
Yes.
Our next stop, York Towing. We asked the manager if the Reverend would get his money back, since Lake Realty tells us York didn't have permission to tow.
If the management company calls me and tells me that we don't have a contract with them, even though I've towed several cars out of there.
So we put York Towing on the phone with Lake Realty.
Can you just fax over who has permission to have cars towed to?
That confusion was cleared up, so was the rest.
Right. Now the pastor will get his money back?
Someone will be more than glad to refund his money to him.
And Lake Realty tells us that they're happy this issue was resolved. The Reverend, of course, happy that he'll get his money back. He tells us that when he receives that money, he will let us know. I also spoke to the tenant on the phone who originally called the towing company. He feels that he did nothing wrong because his car was blocked in. Live in News 8 Control, Aaron Logan, back to you in the studio.